Hey guys, it's Zeki from Tier Zero here, and today we're here with Ben again, and we're here with his Gishki Handloop deck. Before we get into profile, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page, check out Twitter, check out the website for all the best deals on cards, and let's get straight into the profile.
Okay, so the idea behind this deck is you can loop your opponent for 5, and they can't play. You also have non-punishment with that, which is kind of nice. Anyway, so in the monster stuff, we play two Decibel 001 and 3 Decibel 003. You end up adding more than 3 times of Herald. It depends on which combo you go down. If you resolve 003, but you're not completely reliant on it. So even without it, you can still hand loop for multiple cards. It enables your mass hand loops. Or all 5 cards in the hand.
And you play 2 Desperate ones because you summon both of them, right?
Yeah, you summon the first to 003, and then you use your fiber to summon your second 001. So when you summon 2 tokens, you can reborn 2 001s. Then 3 Ecclesia, and 1 Fleur, 1 Maximus. Fleur is just for general interrupt, but Maximus and Ecclesia are both part of they both contribute towards your combos, because you typically would use your Ecclesia to search out Maximus if you don't really have access to it, which then allows you to send stuff like Herald, just totally awesome, and go +2.
Okay, and that's how you shuffle back, you reuse your hand loop card, right?
Not quite, no. We'll get to that a bit later.
Okay.
But Maximus is pretty much always live because you're always shuffling back your extra exhausters engraved, so you always have the Herald to send.
Okay.
And normally, but just in general, you can hand loop for 4 without seeing the Dragon engine. It's just not. And if you can hand loop for 5 without it, it just makes the hand loop for 5 a bit more secure. It helps you get the 5th card.
I see.
Okay, then 3 Shadow, 3 Vision. These are you discard them to add either a ritual monster or a ritual spell. That's what they do.
So for the consistency of the deck.
Yeah. For the combo, you want to open as many Aqua Mirrors as possible, and you preferably want to open a level 6 ritual as well. So having more access to them is nice. Also, being able to use B as the full tribute is also great. Then Coltwing. This is instead of O-Lion. Again, if you draw it, it's not the end of the world because you can still do hand loop combos and you can still resolve heralds without it. But essentially, you summon it off your Auroradon, get 2 tokens, and then reborn 2 001s, which will then get you 3 adds using the Tith from your heralds, which is stupid. Just Kraken. This is the hand loop card. It takes a card out of the hand, shows it into the deck. Great.
And so this is the one that you resolve 5 times, right?
No, resolve it 4 times.
Oh, okay.
You remake one of the cards out of the hand.
I see.
Mind August is the other broken one. Because it shuffles back 5 cards in any grave, you can just constantly recycle your heralds and all your resources, so you always have cards to play. And all your Dragma stuff and Extract is always fully live. It also really helps with follow-up because you have full 5 combo again. Then 3 Tetroga. The effect is garbage. It's just used as a level 6 ritual monster because having level 6 rituals starts with the combo. Okay, then ritual spells. So Vidnar's that is kind of the bad one, but it's still pretty good. I max out on the ritual spells because you want to open a ritual spell, and you want to open as many ritual spells as possible in these combos. Vidnar's tributes from your opponent's field as well to ritual summon, so it's still pretty good.
So it can be used going second as a potential board clearer as well.
Yeah, exactly. And then Aquamira is the broken one. So essentially, you tribute a level 6 to summon your Kraken or your Mind August, and then Aquamira will shuffle itself back into the deck, and you will add back a ritual monster in your graveyard.
Okay, that's insane.
So it pretty much it gives you infinite access to your Gust Kraken and your Mind Augurs because you loop them. Then Photo Mirror, this is more like for starting up, but it means it riches someone without paying tribute. So you end up paying life points instead, which is fine because they're not going to be able to play anyway.
Yeah, you win the game first turn one anyway.
Yeah, and then 3 Disciples, so 3 Nadir servants. This doesn't need an exclamation. Send Herald, get searches. Like, what more could you want?
It's just +2, instant +2 for free.
Oh, it's more than instant +2. Because you then get Herald, which gets Ecclesia, which gets Maximus, which then adds 2 more cards.
It's insane, that's all we need.
Then Prep, because you can add back your Mirror, and it adds level 6s, so you add Gust Kraken or Mind Augur. Then 1 Ritual Sanctuary, 1 Terraforming. Terraforming just because you want the spell engrave for Ritual Sanctuary. It gets rid of like the worst ritual spells to add the better ritual spells. And it also respawns Herald, which helps you do more combos and maybe potentially end on the gate if you really want to. And then 1 Punishment, because you can add it and like in the combo replay you'll see in a minute, you can we end on Handloop of 5 plus Punishment.
It's just game over as well.
Yeah, because then because you still got your full extra deck, you then get all the resources options you want as well.
Alright, next we'll go to the extra deck, so we'll see.
Okay, so 1 Natif. This is actually a combo piece. You can still send it for your Nadir or your Ecclesia for a second to disrupt that, or Punishment even, to disrupt their plays. But it is actually a combo card. It is required. Like, you actually summon it manually in the combo. Ash Dragon is just for the Dragon engine. It helps grind good cards, helps get punishment back there. Formula is for you draw cards in your combo. It's for the Rodon combo. That's all we can really say about it. 3 Heralds is the best card in your extra deck. You resolve it so many times. Marcher is for it's for the Rodon setup combo with 703. Omega is for your hand loop, because you make it with your Rodon combo. Then Emerald. Emeralds, you have an option to summon it in your Rodon setup combo again. So the main combo I prefer to use doesn't use it, but it does come up a lot, like especially in grind game situations, because drawing cards is amazing.
And shuffling cards is amazing, especially cards like Herald.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nyola. This has a thought sadly, but you can attach, like for example, you can detach Herald to reattach Herald, then make an Natif and get another Herald. So it's just like more searches, which is great. Totally awesome because you can send it, and that's about it. You send it to get pluses back. Then back for the Rodon combo, and the rest is just Fiber, Necross, and the Rodon are all for the Rodon combo.
Next we'll go to the side deck. One quick note about the side deck: this is a player's preference, depending what field you want to go. If you want to go for locals, you might not be this anti thing. You might want more back row hate, etc. So it's up to you. But this is what Ben decided to make.
Okay, so this is it's very format. It varies on the format. The reason I went there are no hand traps in this side deck, which makes the side deck weaker to infinite overlay, which you may want to address. But the general idea behind the side deck is, because you're not maining any hand traps, you kind of want... I just wanted the blowout cards. Because once you resolve something like a Droplet, or a Dark Ruler, or even, like, if you resolve any of the cards in your side deck, you can just full combo them and win. You're not reliant on, did they draw the extender to play through your Gamma or whatever. So, 3 Ruler, 3 Droplet, out monster stuff, out Swords, Lightning Storm, and evenly matched are good for back row or anything really, and Mystic Mine is just Mystic Mine.
Yeah. Because
Mystic Mine.
it's just another copy of you can resolve Dark Rule no more, Mystic Mine. or Forbidden Droplets, Mystic Mine, variants of that will completely blow them out and win the game instantly.
Yeah, and especially after seeing like a turn one combo with how much your deck can do, people seem to be very they shotgun their negates onto things like 003 onto your Ecclesia. They'll shotgun all the negates so they just don't have the negate for Mystic Mine, and you can just win because there's nothing. They're not going to side things like Cosmic against you because there's nothing to hit with Cosmic.
Yeah. Next, we'll go for the insane replay that Ben made with Gishki Handloop for 5 and set up punishment for pot 2, which is just no matter what, it's game over no matter what deck. Let's get into it. So, if Ben, you want to talk through that hand, the hand is pretty insane, but what do you need?
Oh, the hand is absolutely insane. So, the hand loop is generally a bit variable because pretty much a lot of hands hand loop for 4. Hand looping for 5 is it does happen a lot. Like you can hand loop 5 a lot of the time, but it can be very much depending on your opponent's hand traps. Like this hand, for example, has with Disciples of Nadir, with Preparation of Rites and the Vision, you have plenty of ways to play through something like a Gamma on your 003 if that doesn't resolve. You don't have to draw this nutty to hand loop for 5.
Yeah. This
But
just
it's
is
not
an
playing-
insane hand, yeah. That'll allow you to play through a lot. Okay, let's get into the replay. So,
especially if they hand trap you, it means that they have less cards to stop. They have less cards in hand anyway, so you don't have to hand loop as much.
yeah, so if they hand trap you and you play through it, you only need to hand loop for 4, evidently. So, first,
Yeah,
obviously, he goes through the basic needle fiber combos.
I mean, the Rodon combo isn't that basic, but because it does go into a lot of Herald stuff. So you'll see here that I end up making a Herald, and then going with the Herald into an Omega, which is the first hand loop, and it will then get you another plus from the Herald. But it's also important because you need the Herald engraved because you're going to hit it back as a material.
Okay. So this is where, obviously, you saw the 2 Desperate Ones as well. Summon both of them after summoning from a Marauding token, which is a lot of pluses.
It's going to happen again as well, so... Also, you want to clear your board as much as possible for the Coltman tokens here, which is why you go for Omega so early.
Okay.
Yeah, then Coltwing will summon 2 tokens, you want both 0/0/2s.
Which is insane again. So you summon Desperate One twice. 2 of them twice, which is insane.
Yeah, and then we just make more Heralds, which is more searches.
And they would obviously hand trap before this at any point, because obviously they know your deck just makes Herald a lot. So Nimbirus and such would obviously be heralded at this point.
Even with stuff like hand traps, because you've got so much advantage in hand, and because your deck hand loops quite pretty, like hand loop is a low requirement hand loop. Or to start hand looping and starting cards with the hand, it's just summoning Gust Kraken.
Because even if they hand trap you and you can only loop for 1-2 cards, they're still ending with 2 cards and potentially have to get rid of a punishment or a herald or some sort of interrupt, which is still a lot to do.
Oh, and you still have advantage because your things like Aquamirror constantly give you free resources.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see me in Tith here and reattach a Herald. That gives you an additional Herald because you then trigger that, because then you're going to make a Tith with these 2 and get another Herald search which you wouldn't have before.
So now he has a ridiculous amount of cards in hand as well. 9 cards in hand. And he's already looped his opponent for 1.
Because now that I've got all the I've added all the Aquamirrors and all the ritual spells I can, because you only need like 2 level 6, like the Gust Kraken and, well, preferably Mind August, which you can search with a Practice or with a Herald to start up your combos. So you just need to get as many Aquamirrors as possible, and the startups as well, like Potomera. So that's hand loop for 1, but that's 2, and then you can add that back with prep, get the Mind August. And here you'll see the Mind Augurs will now shuffle back all the heralds
Which is
for
insane.
the disciples of Nadir. And you still have the Natis on field, which you can use to special summon your Ecclesia.
So now after he shuffled back the Gishki he summons it again to loop for the third card. So now your opponent has 2 cards in hand, and you still have 6 cards in hand.
Yep.
Rinse and repeat. So now this is the 4th hand loop.
Oh, right. I should note here, if you just pause for a second. I did make a mistake here. I didn't make a mistake. I used Disciples of Nadir, I sent the Herald, and I forgot to add my Ecclesia. So you'll see at the end of the combo, I summoned the Ecclesia and set the punishment. That's my bad. Normally, you would also have an Ecclesia in hand here, which would you summon to get punishment, so you should have additional resources here to what it shows.
Okay, the end board will be shown at the end.
But again, you just summon another August, shuffle back all your fiber combos, so you have a load of follow for an extra deck. Aquamarine adds back the Gust Kraken, you summon another Gust Kraken, and that's 5 cards out of hand.
So yeah, now he obviously shows the Ecclesia and then the punishment as well.
And the Titanic card, you end up with a Fleur as well.
Which is an insane combo. They have no chance of beating this, and the follow-up is insane as well, because that's why you don't need multiple Needle Fibers or Aurorodons or any of these cards, just because your whole extra deck shuffle back. Look, there's only, 2 cards in extra deck in the graveyard, and it's insane. And obviously your Omega comes back, so you already have game lethal on board, and they have 1 card and you have a punishment, which is insane.
And even if they get on the punishment, you still have Fleur.
Yeah.
So you can negate the effect of any special summon you want and get a big body.
Okay guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.